Is your holiday season going to look different this year? As 2020 draws to a close, the COVID-19 pandemic continues to reshape our lives in many parts of the world. Holidays of all sorts can be an exciting time for many, but it can also be challenging for many as well, especially during COVID-19. Travel complications and virus-related risks are causing many of us to rethink holiday plans, adding extra pressure and uncertainty to this season. Logistically and emotionally, it is a very good idea to start thinking ahead and planning early for the coming holidays. This will help shape expectations, and reduce uncertainty, and also increase the likelihood that you'll enjoy the holidays nevertheless, even if they look and feel different than normal. This brief awareness session will offer you some tips that may help. If you are planning to travel, where will you be traveling from to? COVID-19 guidelines vary by country, state, and even city. So it is important to be fully aware of the guidelines that would apply. So check your country's regulations on movement and travel to your destination. What would any family gatherings involve? Where would people stay? What would you do? Are any family members particularly at risk? What precautions have other family members been taking? What are your plans for the holidays? Are you planning to attend family gatherings because you really want or need to? Is there a chance you can excuse yourself to avoid risks? Once you have assessed the risks and decided what you will do, there are some relevant steps that you can take in order to avoid misunderstanding and tensions. Tell family and friends what you have decided in advance. Try to motivate your decisions and approach everyone with respect and emotional empathy. This will give time to express and cope with any uneasiness, disappointment, or frustration with your decisions. You may want to plan alternative ways to celebrate this year. If you know your extended family are likely to disagree with your approach, try to negotiate solutions that respect everyone's beliefs. Avoid getting involved in arguments about issues like the validity of science or why wearing a mask. Find common grounds. Remember to express your feelings, personal boundaries, and acknowledging any frustration and or disappointment, trying to find some common grounds to address the situation. Plan to celebrate. Think about your usual holiday traditions and rituals. If it is meaningful, think about how you can recreate some version of that tradition. For example, if there are religious services you would normally attend with family, you may all be able to attend that service virtually. If food is a large part of your holiday experience, you could plan to do a food exchange if you live nearby, or share a holiday meal via video. Think about ways of sharing the holiday traditions, preserving safety and a joyful environment. Respect your country and local regulations about social distancing, curfew and permitted and prohibited activities. Try to make the differences into something special, new and fun, involving everyone in the preparation. Do not exclude family and/or friends that do not share your approach. Try involving them nevertheless. Dealing with isolation. While it can be a time for celebration, family, food and fun, it can also be a time when we feel alone, disconnected or isolated because of regulations, social distancing, lockdowns, especially while the world manages a pandemic. Some of us will be able to get together and are more at risk of feeling anxious, depressed and isolated. Dealing with a pandemic is stressful enough. With the holidays, the added stress can affect our sense of well-being and mental health. Take care of yourself. Understand what causes stress and recognize your own feelings. Be patient with yourself and those close to you. It takes time to manage feelings. Learn how to manage your reactions to these experiences. Focus on the things you have control over. Participate in activities or try relaxation techniques. If the stress persists following any distressful event, a person may experience a range of thoughts, feelings and behavior that can be intense, confusing and frightening. If these reactions to stress persist beyond several weeks and make it impossible to function normally over a long period of time, seek help. One option is to contact your local health facility or a crisis support line. During events and gatherings, there are several factors that contribute to the risk of getting and spreading COVID-19 at small in-person gatherings. In combination, these factors will create various amounts of risk. Community levels of COVID-19 high or increasing levels of COVID-19 cases in the gathering locations, as well as in the areas where attendees are coming from, increase the risk of infection and spread among attendees. Family and friends should consider the number of COVID-19 cases in their community and in the community where they plan to celebrate when deciding whether to host or attend a gathering. Exposure during travel: airports, bus stations, train stations, public transport, gas stations, and rest stops are all places travelers can be exposed to the virus in the air and on surfaces. Location of the gatherings: indoor gatherings, especially those with poor ventilation, for example, small enclosed spaces with no outside air, pose more risk than outdoor gatherings. Duration of the gathering: gatherings that last longer pose more risk than shorter gatherings. Being within 6 feet of someone who has COVID-19 for a cumulative total of 15 minutes or more greatly increases the risk of becoming sick. Number and crowding of people at the gathering. Gatherings with more people pose more risk than gatherings with fewer people. The size of the holiday gathering should be determined based on the ability of attendees from different households to stay 6 feet, 2 arm lengths apart, wear masks, wash hands, and follow state, local, territorial, or tribal health and safety laws, rules, and regulations. Behaviors of attendees prior to the gathering. Individuals who did not consistently adhere to social distancing, staying at least 6 feet apart, mask wearing, hand washing, and other prevention behaviors pose more risk than those who consistently practice these safety measures. Behaviors of attendees during the gathering. Gatherings with more safety measures in place, such as mask wearing, social distancing, and hand washing, pose less risk than gatherings where fewer or no preventive measures are being implemented. There are very small things you can do to cope with this peculiar time. We made just a small checklist for you. Check in with yourself. Accept that you may get sad or lonely, and that's okay. Do less. Take a walk, possibly in sunlight hours. Check in on others. Don't forget to do small things every day. Sleep and eat regularly healthy food. Get help with mental health issues for you or for others around you.